Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a new virtual machine in Microsoft Azure. To get started, open a web browser and go to portal.azure.com. Now we're here, the first thing we need to do is create a new resource group if you don't already have one. So click on resource groups and then click add. Choose your subscription that you want to create the resource group under. I've only got one here. Give your resource group a name. So I'm going to call this demo RG01. Choose a region where you want to create the resource group. This doesn't really matter. You don't have to create the virtual machine in the same place as this resource group. So for simplicity, I'm going to choose UK South. And then there's nothing else we need to do here unless you want to add tags. So click Review and Create, and then click Create. And you'll see the new resource group has been created. Next thing we need to do is create a virtual network for our virtual machine to connect to, and a subnet. So we're going to go to the virtual networks option and click Add. So now we're going to choose the resource group we just created. We're going to give the VNet a name. So I'm going to call this Demo VNet 01. And we'll put it in the same place we created the resource group. So now click on Next IP addresses. You'll see it's already put an address space in here for you. If this isn't suitable, feel free to change it. So for example, I'm going to change mine to 192.168.0.016 because my local network already uses the 10 range. And then while we're here, we can also add a subnet. So we're going to call this demo subnet 01. And then we'll add a subnet address range. So I'll say 192.168.100.0/24. And then click add. And then we're not going to do anything else here. So click review and create. And then click create. And now you'll see that the resource has been created, and it's been created. So next thing we need to do is create our virtual machine and link it to this VNet. To do that, click create a resource, and then choose the image you want to use for creating the virtual machine. So I'm going to use the Ubuntu server image, but the same steps apply for any others. So yet again, choose the resource group you want to use. So I'm going to choose the one that we created earlier. Give the virtual machine a name. We're not going to do anything about availability now, so we'll just leave all this as default. If need be, you can change the size. You'll see that here there are some recommended sizes. But then if you want to choose something else, you can go ahead and do that by clicking See All Sizes and then choosing your size from the list. Next, you need to configure the administrator account. So as you can see here, we've got a username of Azure user, and you can either create an SSH public key or you can choose a password, which is what I'm going to do here. So I'll set the username back to Azure user, set a super secret password, and you can choose which ports are allowed. For For the sake of this demo, I'm going to leave port 22 open because this virtual machine will be blown away by the time you guys see this. So next, go to disks. Here you can choose the disk type. Depending on what you're doing, you can either have premium SSD, standard SSD, or standard hard drive. Because this is just a demo machine, we're going to go for standard hard drive. We'll leave the encryption type as it is, and then we will go to networking. So generally the default is fine, so just have a little look through, make sure everything's okay, and if it is, click review and create. So you'll see the validation has passed and everything looks good, so we can go ahead and create the virtual machine. Okay, now the virtual machine's been created, let's go to the resource. So you'll see it's running, so let's check it, double check it works. We're going to connect SSH. And then we'll take the user and the IP address here. And what we can do is we can use the Cloud Shell in the top right of the screen to connect to the virtual machine. So if we maximize the Cloud Shell and we do SSH, paste in that, yes, put in the password, and you can see we're in our Ubuntu virtual machine. Okay, I hope you found this helpful, and look out for more coming very soon.